Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 16 is entitled as Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the divine and demonic nature. Through 3, Part 2. śrī-bhagavān uvāca abhayaṁ sattva-saṁśuddhir jñāna-yoga-vyavasthitiḥ dānaṁ damascha yajñascha svādhyāyas tapa ārjavam ahiṁsā satyam akrodhas tyāgaḥ śāntir apaiśunam dayā bhūteṣv aloluptvaṁ mārdavaṁ hrīr acāpalam tejaḥ kṣamā dhṛtiḥ śaucam adroho nāti-mānitā bhavanti sampadam devīm abhijatasya bharata. In the previous session, we learnt about 3 characteristics of a divine person: abhayaṁ, fearlessness; sattva-saṁśuddhir, purity of mind; jñāna-yoga-vyavasthitiḥ, knowledge to differentiate the body and atma. The 4th that's mentioned here is dānaṁ. Dānaṁ nyāyārjita dhanasya patre pratipadanam. Dāna means charity. Charity doesn't mean giving away useless ones. Rather, when we give a charity, that should be in a condition or a state where it can be used by the other person, by the receiver of the charity. If I give a cow as a charity to someone, but the cow does not produce any more milk because it is old, then what is the purpose of giving such charity to someone? Or I give the cow which does not produce milk as a charity to slaughterhouse. That is not charity, which falls into sattvika, dāna. So, giving away one's wealth that's been acquired through the right means to deserving person in an appropriate manner at right time is known as sattvika dāna. So the points to be considered when we give charity are to make sure the charity that we are giving away is obtained by proper righteous means, not acquired in any illegal means. I cannot steal money from someone and give that as a charity to someone else, or I cannot give someone else owned things as a charity to someone else. And I give charity to a deserving person. Say, I cannot take a $100 bill and give it to a 1-year-old child. Or I cannot take this $100 and give to an adult or youth or an adult who indulges in intoxication. And when a person gives dāna, charity, it has to be given in an appropriate manner, very respectfully, not thinking that they are in a superior position to give charity and one whose receiver is lower in position. Such ideas are not good while giving the charity. Rather, one should feel shameful of not able to give and honor the receiver with appropriate or more charity. As one gives the charity, one must have the feeling or understanding that nothing belongs to himself. He is just being an instrument and media in the grace of the Lord to perform such an act of giving charity. And the charity must be done at right time. Say, a father who wants to get his daughter married comes to me and asks for some money, and I promise and assure him that I will for sure give him the money and take care of the marriage after 10 years. It's going to be of no use for that father. Also, the time when we give must be an auspicious time. In other words, accepted time as prescribed in the scriptures. So that is dānaṁ, giving away ill-gotten wealth, giving to wrong person and giving it in a wrong manner and wrong time will not come under sattvic dāna. When we get to the 17th chapter, some of these things will be explained again from the perspective of sattva-guna, rajoguna and tamoguna. Next, number 5, dhamaha, manasaha vishayan aunmukya nivritti samshīlanam. This is control of antakarana, controlling the mind from loitering towards wrong things. The shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha, wanting to hear nice sounds, wanting to touch soft things, wanting to see beautiful form, wanting to taste nice things, and wanting to smell nice fragrance. The mind constantly and continuously chase behind these 5 things. Nivritti samshīlanam, controlling the mind from not loitering on these 5 things. So training the mind to not pursue towards the wrong things. If we are in the process of bhakti, then bhakti means towards Krishna. So our mind should be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. If it is not engaged in Krishna consciousness, then obviously mind must be engaged somewhere else, which is going to be non-Krishna consciousness. That means Maya. Therefore, dhamaha, training the mind in this way to not loiter, to find satisfaction through these 5 senses is very important. Number 6, yajñaha, phalabhisandhi-rahita bhagavat ārādhana rūpa mahayajñādi anuṣṭhānam. It is said yaja deva pujyāyam. Yajña means performing worship towards the Lord. One does not be too much worried about any big yajñas. It is simply the nitya-naimitika karma. The Pancha-maha-yajña, which is inclusive of this karma, is what has been mentioned over here. Performance of daily and occasional karma as worship of Krishna. So whether it is yaga, yajña or homa, it is all meant for worshipping the Lord. Therefore it is known as bhagavat ārādhana. It is done in the form of worshipping the Lord. When we say it is in the form of worshipping the Lord, then it implies that one does or one must do without an expectation of result out of it, with no expectation of reward, not expecting any lower reward. Therefore one must perform these Panchamaha Yajña: Brahma Yajña, Deva Yajña, Pitra Yajñam, Bhuta Yajñam and Manusya Yajñam. These 5 are known as Panchamaha Yajña. We covered about these Panchamaha Yajña in the 4th chapter, Sloka 30 and 31. Kindly refer to that if needs to know more. One may ask a question. We have studied that one does not need to perform this Panchamaha Yajña. And here we are hearing we must perform Panchamaha Yajña. The answer is, it's not that either this or that, it's a combination. One does Panchamaha Yajña without an expectation of lower rewards. And one does this as a service to the Lord. Number 7, svādhyāyas. It is said sa vibhuti bhagavatastad āradhana prakārasya cha pratipadakaha krishnaha veda iti anusamdhāya vedābhyāsa nishtha. Svādhyāya means study of the Vedas. Devoted study of the Vedas with the conviction that all the Vedas teach us only about Krishna, who is the Supreme Purushottama, Bhagavan, with all his opulences, vibhutis, and the ways of worshipping him. Such a study is recommended, highly recommended, svādhyāya. A doubt can arise whether we must study the Vedas or only the Upanishads, the Vedanta, because the Vedas speaks mostly about the material things, material benefits, whereas the Upanishad speaks about the absolute truth. So when we say svādhyāya of Vedas or Upanishad, Krishna already addressed this in the 15th chapter. He said, Vedesya sarvair aham eva vedyaha, which means it's inclusive of Vedas as well as Upanishad. Krishna did not say just Upanishad. The Purvabhaga, it is all about Krishna. Therefore, when we say Vedas, it is inclusive of Upanishad as well, because all the Vedas speaks only about Bhagavan Sri Krishna with all the vibhutis, the opulences under his control. They are being his property. It is important that study of our scriptures becomes part of our daily activity. Number 8. Tapaha Krichra Chandrayana Dvadasi Upavasādhi Bhavat Preenana Karma Yogyatapadanasya Karanam. That is, tapaha means austerity. Austerity means curtailing one's material enjoyments as it is advised in the Shastra. The austerity actually promotes eligibility to perform the karma, the work, that which are pleasing to Krishna. Therefore, austerities like fastings on Ekadashi and other recommended days are very important. On these days, we are focusing mostly inward, not on the external things, minimizing the demands of the body, voluntarily, not forcefully. When one does austerity without expecting any result, reward from it, then it is called in mode of goodness, in sattvika guna. The opposite is when one performs such vratas, some austerity, expecting something out of it, then it is not sattva-guna, it is rajoguna. The purpose that one must perform some austerity is because it purifies one's body to able to engage in service of Krishna, to think of Krishna. Therefore, one should not simply say that I will not do these things because I am already chanting. Of course, for some people, even chanting is a great austerity. Therefore, yes, it could be reasonable from their perspective. But for us to grow spiritually, we must practice austerity in some form or the other, following Chaturmasya, following Ekadashi, fasting on days like Ramanavami, Janmashtami, fasting on those recommended days of appearance and disappearance of acharyas. These are all very much recommended. And when one does such austerity, as it is said, there should not be any expectation of reward. I should not be fasting for the purpose of reducing weight. I should not be fasting from sweets to control my sugar. So, tapaha. shrinking one's enjoying mentality primarily through the body, without expecting any rewards, but as a service to the Lord, because the Lord likes those who perform austerities as it is advised in the scriptures. So we have covered 5 characteristics today: dānaṁ, charity; dhamah, training the mind to not run behind the wrong things; number 3, yajñaḥ, performance of daily and occasional rites as worship of Krishna with no expectation of reward; number 4, svādhyāyas, devoted study of the scriptures with complete conviction that scriptures teaches about Krishna, who is with all his opulences and the ways of worshipping him; and lastly, number 5, tapa, curtailing material enjoyment as advised in the Shastras. So far we have completed 8 in total.
Namaste.
We will continue the rest in our next session.